Welcome to The Edge. I'm Oriel Morrison. Well, this edition brings me to Astana in Kazakhstan and the Specialized Expo on Future Energy.
It's Kazakhstan's time to shine on the world stage as its capital, Astana, hosts the Specialized Expo with the theme of future energy. Over 100 countries have pavilions here, and all are showcasing their take on powering the planet, from the conventional to the playful, from the contemplative and philosophical. But it isn't only all about the pavilions.
Over 3,000 various events are planned, including cultural, entertainment and business events. They will be mostly related to energy issues, future energy, environment protection, low carbon imprint, green energy and energy efficiency.
But for me, the symbolic centerpiece of this entire expo has to be set right here in this building that I'm standing in. It's filled with innovative ideas that will help to make the planet a much greener place, all set in a forum that has catapulted them onto the world stage.
It's called the Energy Best Practice Area, and 133 companies and organisations from 13 countries around the globe applied to win a place within its walls. The 24 finalists were selected by careful and at times contentious discussions between an independent panel of experts.
And the selection committee itself was a mixture of academics, some Nobel Prize winners, some politicians, some industry people and so on. And so we argued for a good part of almost, well, 2/3 of a day. But then in the end we really agreed that, that some of the parameters were obviously, we wanted something that really is in tune with what we think energy of the future should be, meaning clean, affordable, accessible. Mostly are renewable energy related ones. And another consideration was things that are either already commercialized and work, or those that have a good chance of getting there.
The finalists represent best technologies, projects and strategies in different areas of sustainable energy, from production to storage, to combating climate change, to providing energy empowerment to those in the developing world. All have their place right here in the best practice area.
This building doesn't only house green energy solutions, it's also full of startups wanting to be the next big thing.
The 24 technologies selected to take part can also be seen as a microcosm for global entrepreneurship, with all at different stages of business development. Some are simply concepts, while others are in production and scaling up. But all are looking for investors. So sit back, relax and get your green hat on as we take a look at the innovations on offer at the Astana Expo.
Welcome to Astana!
And we begin with Bayou, a Spanish startup that is literally offering a green energy solution, producing electricity from plants.
Can you explain to me how this all works?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, here we have a small representation of how bio works itself. This is a small test tube, and what we have here, it's a really simple mechanism in which we find two electrodes. One, it's a copper one, it's an anode, it receives the negative charge, and below it, beneath it, we find the cathode. It's a graphite electrode that receives the hydrogen from decomposition of soil. So what we find here is a plant-giving substances, organic substances that it naturally expels through the roots. What we do with this biological battery is to use bacteria to break them. And once they are broken, they liberate electrons and hydrogen. The electrons go through the anode and the hydrogen goes through the cathode, the positive one. And when going through the cathode, that hydrogen combines with the oxygen outside, producing water. So we don't only create electricity, but also water as a byproduct.
When you look at these two plants, you're obviously showing an example of the voltage that you can get out of something like this.
Totally. What we do here is, for example, here we are just combining each of these batteries, of these plant pots, and well, as you see, we are creating a voltage. This voltage can be added if you had more of them, and it could be used for basically anything. This could be used, for example, to light up some LEDs and things like that. When you have the bigger panel, what you need, it's the same thing that you need when using, for example, a solar panel. Mm-hmm. This is placed just beneath the surface of your garden. Mm-hmm. The only thing that you have to do is to place some grass or plants, and as you can see here, it's divided into different cells. They are all combined, and when combined, they produce more. And of course, if you want to accumulate all of this, you will need a power collector, the same ones that you use for solar energy. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same installation, and you won't actually need more in order to have a really constant flow of energy.
So why would I choose this when I have to keep the plant alive mm-hmm. over solar energy, when I don't have to keep anything alive?
Well, actually, this is oriented to place these panels just where you already had a green space. I mean, parks and gardens are gonna be healthy in one way or another, even if they hadn't have these panels. Mm. So the thing is that, after all, placing these panels doesn't make a difference. Placing these panels just provides energy.
Additional energy.
Yeah, additional energy, and a save in water, which is actually kind of a cool point as well.
How does it compare to traditional forms of energy? Is it much more expensive to produce?
Right now it's more expensive. However, it's not just related with money, but with space. Because when talking about money, it's okay. I mean, each panel has a cost of around 300 euros. But of course you will need a bigger surface. For example, to power up a whole house, considering that each panel produces like 3 watts per square meters, you will require a 10 by 10 meters garden, which is a total of 100 square meters, which is a total of 100 panels. So that is the real cost. You can place them not just on the garden, you could also use green roofs just to place it on the roof. You could also use, as I said, parks as your future solar stations, which would actually help you a little bit if you don't have a garden and you want to use the electricity from the city itself.
So you were talking about powering up an entire house with it. You're not quite ready to do that at this particular point? At
this particular point, we are kind of ready in the sense that we are starting to place these panels in pilot test in open spaces, in parks, in some city halls, and in some gardens. But the thing is that right now we are in a stage of testing. After all, it requires a lot of trying just right before starting to sell a product which is supposed to last for 10 to 20 years.
Let's talk about money. Mm-hmm. You need money to get something like this off the ground. What's the process been like for you?
Okay. Well, in my case, we started with crowdfunding, a product crowdfunding that we realized that, well, crowdfunding is cool. We did a good job, but after all, we realized that it wasn't the way. We realized that private funding with smart investors that could actually not just give you money, but also facilities, labs, a team, that was even better. And we started with a line of gadgets just to never need funding anymore, because we already had that support. We already have a team, a public, we already had the labs that we wanted, so we just needed a track. And if we want to fund these projects for a long time, we need to survive as a company. So that's our goal, and that's what we're doing right now.
So are you making money now?
Yeah.
You're in profit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, which is always a positive when you're talking about a startup. You're only 2 years old, right?
Yeah, as a company we're 2 years old.
Yeah, and you're already making money.
We are already making money.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And from converting photosynthesis into electricity to a potential light source that doesn't need any power at all.
We develop a biological lighting living system that works with a phenomena called bioluminescence. which is the abilities that have a lot of organisms to produce light without electricity, like do fireflies, glowworms, squids, fish. So we use this chemical reaction and create with that a raw material made of bacteria. And these bacteria are able to glow without electricity.
Yes, this French startup wants Paris, the city of lights, to be lit by the soft green glow of bacteria.
We've been selling for like 1 year for events only for now, and we are working on the technology to make it better and better with a better intensity, to make it last longer, to be more and more efficient so that we can spread it. And the goal is to go on urban furniture, on buildings, on outdoor communication, on shop fronts, a lot of different things.
Glowy has raised around 1.7 million euros thus far to try and get the technology out of the lab. Its founder says once it does emerge as a viable light source, the cost of running it will be minimal.
The great thing is that first we don't need a raw material because our raw material is bacteria and it can grow exponentially. So we don't extract something, we don't buy a raw material, but it's just growing. So this is great on the production side and on the cost side also, because the cost will decrease as soon as we produce more. And the second point is that you don't need electricity to then make the light, so you also reduce the cost on that way.
Plenty more innovations to come from inside the expo, including...
I thought, what if we could use the energy of the 50,000 people an hour to pass through some of the busiest centres of our cities?
We are making the concentrated solar power from high-tech to smart tech.